Hi, I'm Mark Musch, and welcome back to Furious Fiction, here with Diane Roberts.
Hey.
Welcome back.
Well, you know, hay fever land. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
That's right. And we have as our guest today Mary Jane Ryals, who is the author of Cookie and Me, and a winner of the Florida Book Award. Mary Jane, tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, let's see.
Is it autobiographical? That's
no.
Okay.
No,
okay.
no. But in fact, there are lots of stories in it that come from friends. I had a friend who, my best friend, I was struggling with a character, and she said, I was talking to her about it. The mother in the book, who is addicted to drugs and alcohol.
And it's set in the 50s, right?
Set in the 60s. In the 60s.
And in Tallahassee.
And in Tallahassee, yes.
You're a Tallahassee native.
Yes.
You're a Tallahassee native.
Yeah, it's about two girls who are from different races, white and black, if you want to call it that. And they make friends, even though it's a very scary, violent time in the Deep South for black people, and white people are scared because things are changing. And two girls who are not really basically allowed to be friends in this culture, and they make friends anyway, despite themselves and despite the culture. And they end up becoming such good friends that they go get into a lot lot, which is
together.
What 13-year-old girls do, get into trouble together.
Exactly.
And how did you? Why this? Why did you write about this?
Well, because I realized when I was taking a course in Southern literature in my PhD level with Anne Rowe, that so much is about Southern writing is about and doesn't talk a lot about race, or at least up to
it's always there.
Century.
I mean, can you even think of Southern writing without race?
No, and it doesn't matter the race of the writer. It's there because it is there in our world.
Yes.
Right.
You know, but you've sort of brought it forward in a way that doing a thing I think it's really difficult, which is writing a kid. Doing racism and the class system and all of that from the point of view of a kid, where the kid doesn't, you know, the reader knows more than the kid knows in a way.
And did you find yourself, you know, trying to write from the point of view of a 13-year-old, having to like excise words or go back and say, well, a 13-year-old really wouldn't say that, or that sort of thing?
I sure did. But it was also fun to go back to a language that was slightly simpler and more less Latinate and more the older English,
more
this Anglo-Saxony. Yeah.
And you're a poet, so you've got I mean, that poet's discipline of, you know, and that poet's giant vocabulary. And I mean, I think one of the things again that I like about Cookie and Me is that the language is so lively and fresh. And I mean, you can really see your poetic technique in there.
What about dialect? Because you hear a lot of different things about, oh, don't write dialect. People don't want to see dialects too hard, or it's offensive. And what do you think? You know?
Well, first of all, you know, it's probably a good idea not to misspell a lot and not to put a lot of little apostrophes and that sort of thing, but to write it the way you hear it, as much as possible. And that was such a natural thing in my family. We would all sit around the dining room table and sort of do dialect together, because the South does have so many dialects, and we would do northern dialects. We're all very conscious of it because people make fun of us. So we just sort of made fun of everything at the dinner table.
But it's kind of the way you hear it then. So it really is like a poet. I mean, I think.
Well, it is, and you can also. I mean, I don't know about your family, but in my family, we can exaggerate one thing or another, and you know, we can all sit around and start talking like this. You understand? Country if we want to. Now, of course, if I heard somebody who wasn't, it's frightening, isn't it? It's Wakulla County. But you know, if I heard somebody who's not like from the South doing that, I get offended. So you know, again, it's a tricky problem to solve.
It is a tricky problem.
And the tricky problem about writing about race, which is never, I think, easy, of just how you represent the prejudice and the anger. And again, I think brilliantly using a kid to
well, and how you deal with it just within your own, as a writer, your own. I mean, because in our family, I mean, we were certainly never allowed to use the N word, whereas my mother's family, it was and still is a commonplace thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of this.
We all know all of that. Yeah. So it is. It's hard, and it was hard for me, and every time I have counted every time the N word is in the novel, I have counted those words because it's not.
Did you get pressure to not use that, or
no?
Okay.
In fact, I called my editor, who is also from the South, and said, "Listen, I know this is, you know, we're talking about this a lot now, and you know, it's okay for some people to say it and not okay for other people, you know, the whole political thing." And she said, "Forget it. This is, you're telling the truth.
Well, it's historically accurate.
Well, that's right.
Which is one thing I really wanted to do for my
many
daughter.
great things about this book.
I'd like to come back and talk some more about this.
I know.
It's wonderful.
Well, we could give the whole Southern thing some more. You know, it's all good.
But we're really blessed to have Mary Jane Ryals with us today. She's the author of Cookie and Me. It's a winner of the Florida Book Award for general fiction. And thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you both.
Congratulations.
I really love both of your. I admire your writing, both of you, so much. And thank you for what you do in the world.
Thanks a lot. I'm Mark Mustian here with Diane Roberts. Thanks for being with us again on Furious Fiction.